Welcome to episode 400, where I'm focusing on summer skincare. I'll be sharing Ayurvedic wisdom for maintaining clear, radiant skin by pacifying Pitta dosha, from cooling foods and herbs to daily rituals that support beauty from the inside out to prevent acne, rashes, and inflammatory skin conditions. So please stay tuned to learn more. Hi there, I'm your host Colette, and on this podcast I will be sharing the teachings of Ayurveda, yoga, and holistic health practices. Now, if you're new to Ayurveda, I recommend checking out the first couple of episodes where I do an introduction to Ayurveda and the mind-body types. Thanks for listening, and now here's a new episode. Before I start today's episode, I have an announcement. This August marks 8 years since I launched the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. What started as a humble offering to share the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda has grown into a global community. And it's all thanks to you. And to express my heartfelt appreciation, I'm offering 10% off of all my online services until August 6th, 2025. You can choose from online consultations, the private digestive reset cleanse, the educational self-paced daily habits for holistic health program, and my reset, restore, renew program, which combines all my services in one holistic package. Use the code ELEMENTS8 at checkout. That's ELEMENTS, ELEMENTS and the number 8 at checkout. And this offer is valid until August 6th, 2025. And thank you so much for listening, for supporting and sharing the podcast with your family and friends. I am so truly grateful for the past 8 years and excited for what's ahead. So please take advantage of this 10% offering, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. And now let's get into this week's episode. Hello and welcome back to the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. It's Colette today for a solo episode. And before I get started, I want to say thank you for supporting and listening to the podcast. And I hope you're finding it helpful. If you do, and you think it will be interesting information for your family or friends, could you do me a favor and share it with them so we can spread this wisdom of Ayurveda? It could really help the show and, of course, help those you care about, as I think we need this Ayurvedic guidance now more than ever in the world. And thanks in advance for sharing the wisdom of Ayurveda. Okay, so let's get on to our topic today, Ayurvedic summer skincare. And now that we're officially in summer in the Northern Hemisphere, it's time to focus on managing the rising temperatures. In episode 398, titled Cool Pitta Dosha, Ayurvedic Wisdom for Summer Balance, I focused on managing the Pitta dosha during hot weather. But in this episode, I'm diving deeper into skin health and in particular, keeping our skin happy, healthy, and radiant during the heat of summer. As temperatures rise, you might start noticing some changes in your skin. Maybe it feels more oily, maybe you're breaking out more often, or your complexion feels dull or irritated. Redness, inflammation, sun sensitivity, even rashes and heat bumps are all signs that your body, and especially your skin, is feeling the intensity of Pitta dosha, the dosha that governs heat, metabolism, and transformation. And while we often focus on sunscreen and skincare products at this time of year, Ayurveda reminds us to go deeper, to see the skin not just as a surface issue, but as a reflection of what's happening internally, in our digestion, our blood, our emotions, and our daily rhythm. So in today's episode, we'll explore how to care for your skin holistically this summer using timeless Ayurvedic principles. From foods and herbs to rituals and skincare routines, we'll look at ways to pacify Pitta, protect your radiance, and support that clear, glowing skin naturally. In Ayurveda, Pitta dosha is made up of the fire and water elements. It governs heat, transformation, metabolism, and digestion, both on a physical and emotional level. Summer is considered Pitta season because the external environment, hot, bright, intense, and sharp, amplifies the fire element already present in Pitta. When this heat builds up and goes unchecked, Pitta becomes aggravated, and one of the first places this shows up is in the skin. Pitta aggravation tends to show up in the skin because the Pitta dosha governs the luster and clarity of the skin via the subdosha Pitta, called Brajika Pitta. In Ayurveda, each dosha has subdoshas, specific expressions of the dosha that govern different parts of the body. Brajika Pitta is the subdosha Pitta that resides in the skin and is responsible for skin radiance and complexion. Brajika Pitta is responsible for the luster, glow, and color of the skin. When it's imbalanced, the skin appears clear, vibrant, and healthy. But when it's disturbed, we see issues like redness, inflammation, dullness, acne, and rashes. Brajika Pitta is also responsible for thermal regulation. It helps the skin regulate heat and manages the body's ability to respond to external temperatures, especially how we release excess heat through sweating. In summer, if Brajika Pitta is overwhelmed, the skin can overreact, producing heat rashes, itching, or burning sensations. Brajika Pitta is also responsible for absorption and metabolism. Absorption of topical substances like oils, herbal pastes, and creams through the skin. This is why Ayurvedic skincare emphasizes using herbal oils and therapies externally, because the skin is metabolically active and capable of internalizing the qualities of what you apply on it. And this is also why we have to be very mindful of what products we put on our skin. Brajika Pitta is also responsible for sensory interface. The skin is a boundary organ, our interface with the world. Brajika Pitta supports the sensory experience of touch, helping us interpret temperature, texture, and pain, and protecting the body from overstimulation. In Ayurveda, the body is built and nourished through 7 layers of tissue, known as the dhatus. When it comes to skin health, 2 of these dhatus play a major role, rasa and rakta. Rasa dhatu is the first tissue layer formed directly from the food we digest, and it represents the nutritive fluid or plasma that circulates through the body, nourishing all the tissues, including the skin. When rasa is healthy, the skin appears moist, supple, and well hydrated. However, if rasa is depleted or overheated, as it can often be in summertime, the skin may become dry, dull, or reactive. Rakta dhatu is the second tissue which corresponds to our blood, and it gives color, vitality, and oxygenation to the skin. It's closely connected to Pitta dosha, especially Brajika Pitta, and when Rakta is overheated or impure, it often results in inflammatory skin conditions like rashes, acne, boils, and redness. So for healthy skin, rasa must nourish and rakta must purify. Together, they create the foundation for skin that is clear, glowing, and resilient. Of course, we know in Ayurveda, all health begins with Agni, our digestive fire. When Agni is strong and balanced, food is properly digested, nutrients are absorbed efficiently, rasa dhatu is formed in a high quality way, and waste products, or ama, are minimized. But when our digestive fire or Agni is weak or irregular due to poor food choices, maybe it's stress, heat, or overeating, then improperly digested food leads to ama, or toxic buildup. And what does ama do? Well, it clogs the channels, including those of the skin. It accumulates in the tissues and shows up as issues like acne, blackheads, a dull complexion, and congestion. Now, if you want to know if you have a buildup of ama in your body, then take the quiz on the homepage of my website. I'll put the link in the show notes, or just visit my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com. And you'll find that quiz on the homepage by just scrolling down. In the summer, excess heat can cause Agni to become sharp, but unstable, leading to quick digestion that's too superficial, resulting in incomplete nutrient absorption. So maintaining a cool, steady digestive fire is essential for skin health in the Pitta season. Now, we also need to look at the liver because the liver plays a major role in skin health. Ayurveda sees the liver as an important site of Pitta dosha and a primary site of heat and purification. The liver is our primary organ of detoxification, removing impurities in the blood. When the liver is overburdened by toxins, environmental pollutants, rich foods, alcohol, fried items, medications, emotional stress, or overheating, its ability to filter and purify the blood is impaired. And this can lead to toxins or ama recirculating in the bloodstream and rakta dhatu, or blood, becoming impure or overheated. And that toxic or hot blood is expressed through the skin as acne, eczema, boils, or general inflammation. This is why cooling and cleansing the liver gently and holistically is such an important part of managing summer skin flare-ups in Ayurveda. So you can see from an Ayurvedic perspective, skin conditions are not just superficial. They're reflections of deeper internal imbalances, especially related to digestion, blood, and emotional heat. You might see red, inflamed acne on the skin surface, but the root cause may be excess pitta in the blood, weak liver function, or poor elimination. Or perhaps you see dry, irritated patches or heat rashes, but the cause may be dehydrated rasa dhatu, overworking in the sun, or eating too much spicy food. So while it might seem like a breakout, a heat rash, or a flare-up is just happening on the surface, Ayurveda reminds us to look beneath at digestion, hydration, blood quality, liver function, and emotional balance. When we support the body holistically, the skin responds with clarity, calm, and a natural summer glow. So let's look at some common Pitta aggravating triggers that can contribute to skin imbalances during the summer months. The first one, of course, the obvious one, sun exposure and UV damage. From an Ayurvedic perspective, overexposure to the sun doesn't just affect the surface, it disturbs Pitta and penetrates deep into the tissues, weakening and drying the rasa, or plasma, and rakta, or blood, which are the foundational layers of skin health, and then aggravates Brajaka Pitta in the skin, leading to inflammation, redness, and sensitivity. Another Pitta aggravating trigger is spicy, sour, and salty foods. These tastes fuel the fire. Excess chili, hot sauces, pickles, fermented foods, or even tomatoes or citrus in excess can lead to acne, rashes, oil imbalances, and inflammation in those individuals with a high Pitta constitution or Pitta imbalance. Dehydration, sweating from the heat without adequate replenishment, causes rasa depletion, making the skin dry, dull, or reactive. The loss of internal moisture also concentrates Pitta, which thrives in a dry environment. Another Pitta aggravating trigger is stress, anger, and overworking. Pitta governs intensity, focus, and ambition. When aggravated, it shows up as irritability, impatience, and pushing too hard. These mental, emotional states increase the internal heat and contribute to inflammatory skin conditions. And of course, alcohol and caffeine both are heating and dehydrating. Alcohol in particular burdens the liver, and Ayurveda closely connects liver overload to impure blood and skin eruptions. So let's take a deeper look at the signs of Pitta imbalance showing up in the skin. When Pitta becomes aggravated, particularly Brajaka Pitta in the skin and rakta dhatu, the blood, we often see the following symptoms. First one being acne, especially red, inflamed, cystic type acne, often clustered around the cheeks or the forehead. Rashes like heat rashes, allergic reactions, or flare-ups of skin conditions like eczema or psoriasis. Redness and flushing on the skin, sensitive skin that easily becomes red or hot, especially after eating spicy food or being in the sun. Inflammation, swelling, tenderness, or irritation in the skin tissues. Sensitivity, skin that reacts quickly to the sun or to products or emotional stress. Oiliness, increased sebum production as the body tries to protect itself from heat and dehydration. And itching or burning, a hallmark of excess internal heat and rakta aggravation. These are the skin signals that Pitta needs pacifying, both from the inside with diet and lifestyle and outside with soothing topical care. So you can see in the Ayurvedic view, the skin isn't just an outer shell. It's a living, responsive tissue, deeply connected to digestion, blood, and the fire element of the body. When Pitta is elevated in the summer months and rasa and rakta are under stress, the skin shows us clear signs. The good news is Ayurveda gives us tools to cool, nourish, and rebalance the body in a way that supports true, lasting radiance, not just surface glow, but health from within. So now that we've explored the deeper root causes of summer skin imbalances, let's talk about one of the most powerful and accessible ways to support your skin from within, and that's through your diet. In Ayurveda, what we eat becomes who we are, quite literally. And in summer, your food choices are a key line of defense in keeping your skin cool, calm, and clear. So let's start by looking at a Pitta pacifying diet, the foundation for summer skin. We know that summer is the season of Pitta dosha, which is made up of the fire and water elements. So to maintain balance, Ayurveda teaches us that we need to favor foods that bring in the opposite qualities. So those that are cooling, moistening, calming, and mildly detoxifying. Pitta is balanced by the sweet, bitter, and astringent taste. The sweet taste, so think of sweet fruits, grains, and root vegetables. The sweet taste is grounding, cooling, and nourishing to rasa dhatu. The bitter taste comes in bitter leafy greens like dandelion, burdock, artichoke, bitter melon. The bitter taste is deeply cleansing and purifies the liver and blood. And the astringent taste, which you get from beans, legumes, apples, pomegranate, and turmeric, tones the tissues and helps reduce inflammation and excess oil. These three tastes of sweet, bitter, and astringent become the guiding stars of your summer skin diet. Now let's look at the best summer skin foods to support rasa, rakta, and brajaka pitta. Cucumber, which is hydrating and cooling and soothing to the skin. Cilantro or coriander, a powerful pitta pacifier and natural blood cleanser. You can also use this herb externally on the skin to soothe any skin irritations. Just make a pulp with the cilantro leaves and water. Aloe vera, internally, you can take it as a juice or pulp, or externally as a gel. And aloe soothes inflammation and supports the liver and skin health. It's especially helpful for acne, sunburn, and skin sensitivity. Coconut, whether it's fresh coconut water, coconut meat, or coconut oil, coconut is incredibly cooling, lubricating, and sweet, ideal for calming internal heat. Watermelon, the perfect fruit of summer. It's juicy and hydrating and has the sweet and astringent qualities that help to flush toxins and hydrate rasa dhatu. Rose petals or rose water cools the heart, calms the emotions, and beautifies the skin. Try like a rose tea or add rose water to your summer drinks or desserts. Leafy greens like spinach, Kale, dandelion, collards, and arugula are bitter and blood purifying. It's best to just lightly cook them to aid with digestion. And zucchini or courgettes and squash, these are moist, soft, and soothing to Pitta. And these summer vegetables are ideal for balancing heat and preventing dryness. Now let's look at the foods to limit or avoid depending on your level of Pitta aggravation. So spicy foods like chili peppers, garlic, any pungent spices, raw onions, mustard, horseradish, these will just ignite the internal fire and may lead to breakouts, rashes, or burning sensations. Sour foods like too much vinegar, yogurt, pickles, citrus, or fermented items that can aggravate both Pitta and rakta dhatu. Fried and oily foods, they increase heat and heaviness and clog the body's channels or shrotas, especially when the liver is already working hard. Fermented foods like kombucha, kimchi, alcohol, and aged cheeses, they are heating and often disrupt the gut and blood when Pitta is high. And red meat and hard cheeses, they're heavy, heating, and taxing to the liver and digestion. When the temperature increases, blood flow pivots from digestion to help control body temperature. And so it lowers metabolism and in turn reduces our agni or digestive power. And so we can often experience a lack of appetite as a result when it gets very hot. Therefore, it's best to favor light proteins that are easier to digest in summer, like mung beans, tofu, or lentils, and use digestive spices like fennel, which aid digestion without aggravating Pitta. Of course, we can't forget about hydration for nourishing rasa to give us that skin glow. Dehydration is a key cause of dullness, irritation, and reactivity in the skin. During the summer, the body loses more moisture through sweat, and the skin can easily become dry or congested if rasa dhatu is not replenished. Ayurveda encourages hydrating in a sattvic, gentle way, not just chugging cold water at the end of the day. So ideal summer hydration includes room temperature water with a splash of lime, mint, or rose water, coconut water, which is hydrating, cooling, and electrolyte rich, so it replaces all those electrolytes lost through sweating. And fresh herbal teas, coriander tea soothes the gut and calms Pitta. Mint tea is cooling and refreshing for the body and mind. Hibiscus tea is astringent and supports healthy blood and heart. Fennel tea calms digestion and supports clarity. And rose petal tea softens the emotions and supports glowing skin. As I mentioned a moment ago, it's important to sip throughout the day rather than gulping large amounts at once. Hydration should be steady and integrated throughout your day, so you're feeding that rasa tissue drop by drop. So instead of battling your skin with harsh treatments, try feeding it from the inside out with foods that cool, cleanse, and hydrate. Your skin is a mirror of your inner fire. If you treat the fire with respect, nourishment, and balance, it will reward you with a natural glow that no serum can create. So next, let's move on to lifestyle and self-care rituals that you can weave into your day to keep Rajaka Pitta and your summer radiance in harmony. In Ayurveda, what we do daily has more power than what we do occasionally. And when it comes to glowing, healthy skin, especially in summer, it's not just about the right food or a good herbal face wash. It's also about how we live, how we rest, and how we respond to the rhythms of nature. So let's explore some daily lifestyle practices that can calm the fire of summer and support radiant skin from the inside out. First of all, it's about early morning wake up. Now, for Pitta types who are natural early risers, it's not a problem for you to get up before or with the sun. And this is great because it allows you to start your day before the heat sets in. And it's an opportunity to absorb the cool, peaceful energy of early morning. Skin is not just an organ, it's a sensory interface. And getting out in the early morning air nourishes Rajaka Pitta through contact with the cooling elements of air, earth, and the calmness of that time of day. If you are working out, the early morning is the best time to do it. Summer is a time when energy can become intense and overheated. So instead of vigorous, intense workouts, Ayurveda recommends calming, rhythmic movement to preserve moisture and reduce internal heat, like slow flow yoga, swimming, which is one of the best Pitta balancing exercises because it's cooling, it's rhythmic, and it's fluid. Of course, avoid hot yoga, intense cardio, interval classes, and overexertion during summer. These can increase skin inflammation, irritation, and premature aging. And by the way, I discussed the Ayurvedic wisdom on exercise and recovery in detail in episode 394 if you want more information on that. Of course, it's important to avoid the midday sun. Being outdoors during this window, especially in direct sun, intensifies Pitta in both the skin and mind. And if you must be outside midday, make sure you wear loose, breathable clothing, a sun hat, and apply a natural sun protectant. And for the Pitta dosha, it's very pacifying to walk in the moonlight. Evening walks under the moon really calm and cool the fieriness of Pitta. And of course, getting to bed by 10 p.m. so that you're getting adequate sleep because you're getting up earlier now during summer with those brighter mornings and to get out in the coolness of the morning. So getting to bed at 10 is really important, allowing your body to detox and rejuvenate for the next day. And to keep skin balanced during summertime, our topical practices must be cooling, gentle, and hydrating. So instead of using soap or harsh cleansers, rinse your face with rose water, which is calming. It calms the redness, it tones the skin, and it can help soothe emotional heat as well. Or sandalwood infused water, which reduces inflammation, balances oil production, and cools the skin energetically. And then after cleansing, consider some really gentle cooling applications like aloe vera gel, which is anti-inflammatory and deeply hydrating, or a cucumber juice or a rose spray as midday refreshers. And I recommend storing it in the refrigerator for a lovely cooling facial spray throughout the day. And then for yourself, Abhyanga, or the oil massage, which is traditionally done in the morning. But for the Pitta types or during summer, an evening oil massage can be deeply therapeutic, using a cooling oil such as coconut oil. And you could infuse the coconut oil with like rose petals or lavender for a seasonal twist. Then allow the oil to sit on your skin for the 15 to 20 minutes before showering it off. And it's really important to wash it off because leaving it on your skin may create a heat trap and that might overheat you during the night. Now, for specific advice on natural skincare products and safe sunscreens to protect your skin during the summertime, please check out the Environmental Working Group's Skin Deep Guide at ewg.org. They do amazing work, and it's definitely worth checking out because it tells you which products are safe for your skin and safe for our oceans. Now, we also need to think of self-care that nourishes the manas, our mind. Ayurveda reminds us that our emotional state is reflected on the skin. Pitta governs ambition, focus, and passion, but when out of balance, it can show up as frustration, criticism, overdrive, and skin inflammation. So to cool both the skin and the mind, it's ideal to meditate daily, even for 5 to 10 minutes, and work on visualizing water or moonlight imagery, which can be especially soothing. Practicing cooling pranayama like Shitali, and you'll find a guided practice for that in episode 396. And taking breaks throughout your day, rest is medicine for the skin. A daytime nap can help pacify the Pitta dosha, but just avoid napping within 90 minutes of eating so you don't affect your digestion. And surround yourself with soft colors, calming scents like vetiver, rose, lavender, sandalwood, and serene environments to help keep the mind calm. By honoring the rhythms of the season, cool mornings, gentle movement, soothing touch, and calming routines, you create not only beautiful skin, but also a beautiful mind. Now, we've talked about food, lifestyle, and daily rhythms, but Ayurveda would not be complete without turning to our trusted herbal allies. When used mindfully, herbs offer powerful natural support for both the external beauty of the skin and the inner clarity of the blood, liver, and lymphatic system. In episode 304, I discussed Ayurvedic herbs for the skin, and I covered aloe vera, bakuchi, mangista, neem, and rose in detail. These herbs are cooling, detoxifying, and especially helpful in managing skin issues like acne, rashes, excess oiliness, and redness that often arise during summertime. However, a word of caution, Ayurveda reminds us more is not better, because in summertime, your skin is already more sensitive and reactive and exposed to sun, sweat, and pollution. So it's best to treat your skin very gently and intentionally. And I always recommend, particularly when taking Ayurvedic herbs, that you get professional advice before taking them. And if you want support, an approach tailored to you to take the guesswork out of all of this, then check out my online services. I offer online consultations, which are focused on healing, education, and empowerment. And then, of course, I have my Digestive Reset Cleanse, which comes with a 90-minute online consultation with me. So I can tailor this holistic cleanse program to you and your lifestyle. The next group discounted cleanse starts October 3rd. So that's at the end of the summer season to eliminate all that excess heat out of the body so it doesn't dry out and aggravate the vata dosha in autumn. And I offer this same program in a private format throughout the year, so you can do it at any time. I have my self-paced daily habits for holistic health program. It's a 28-day self-paced program to help you live in tune with the circadian rhythm and become your own healer. And I also combine all my services in my Reset, Restore, Renew program. And I have all this set out in a comparison chart on my website, so you can check out what you get with each product and decide what's best for you. And if you have any questions before you book, then please take advantage of my free 15-minute online services inquiry call. We can hop online and I can answer all of your questions. So I hope you found this episode on Ayurvedic summer skincare helpful. And as I mentioned at the start of the episode, if you think this information will be helpful to family or friends, please share it with them so we can share this wisdom of Ayurveda. And make sure that you're subscribed or following the podcast so the new weekly episodes will automatically download for you. And come join me on social media. My new Instagram is Elements of Ayurveda Podcast. And on Facebook, it's Elements Healing and Wellbeing. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take good care of yourself, be well, and bye for now. Slán go fóill.